I stand before you today in awe of what our community has been able to accomplish over the last few weeks. When the virus first hit our doorsteps and started to disrupt our lives in so many different and difficult ways, SBH was not immune. The virus and all of the guidance around it was pushing for isolation, for staying at home, for social distancing, concepts that would cripple the very essence of SBH. Because SBH is a volunteer organization that relies on unity, on getting together with friends and family to cook, to visit, to serve, and to help. SBH wasn't built for distance, it was built for unity, and we couldn't coexist with this virus. So we decided to take it head on, and it would challenge everything that we knew about ourselves and about SBH. It started with information. We didn't know enough about the virus. Just like you, we had way too much information coming in from various different sources, and it didn't quite add up. So we consulted with our very own Dr. Victor Grazzi, who connected us with a group of over 100 community doctors that would lead us and guide us and advise us on how to keep ourselves, our teams, our volunteers, and our community safe. We implemented policies on who's allowed in our building, who's not allowed in our building, how many people are allowed at the same time. We started scheduling our times to make sure that we're all coordinated, to make sure that there's no overcrowding. Our client services division changed all of its policies to operate in a time where we can't even see or meet our clients in person. Same thing for our clinic. We weren't allowed to meet them by video conference. So we got those approvals. And we ended up, within 1 week, transitioning everything over to video conferencing, and we're stronger and busier than ever. Seniors. Our seniors didn't have access to all of the resources that others had. So we had to contact them. And over a blitz of a couple of days, we contacted almost every senior in our community to make sure that they had the food, the resources, the knowledge to get them through this difficult time. And food. Food was the most challenging because all of a sudden everybody needed food and in big quantities. And our entire building became a food pantry. In fact, Michelle Sasson and her entire family, God bless her, moved into the building and made it their own in order to serve the entire community during this crisis. And it's still going on now. And the list goes on, but the point is the same. There was a crisis. We had committed to our community that we would be there in times of need, and we had to be there. So everybody stepped up in order to meet that need. So while we're doing our thing, we're getting our calls, we're doing our emails, our chats, our WhatsApps, our Zooms, everything's running on full throttle, we get a message. Our food pantry is empty. And that was very disturbing. Because it seemed like through everybody's effort, we had the infrastructure, we had the want, we had the capability, we had the know-how, we had everything we needed in order to help our community. But we were missing something very basic. We were missing food. We were missing money. Because there was no way through all of our planning that we could have ever planned for the increase in demand that we saw in just these past few weeks and what's expected for the next coming weeks. Charles went through the numbers the other day. I'm not going to repeat them. But so many new families, so many new seniors, so many new people are arriving at our doors for help. Their hands are open, and we needed to put something in it. So we started a campaign with the help of Nathan Hoffman, who got together with my superstar development team. I'm not going to go through the names because there's so many people, but they're the most unbelievable, devoted, selfless, passionate people in the world. They put together a campaign to raise $1.8 million, representing our shortfall for just the next few months. And they're trying to raise it within 48 hours. It was a very big ask in a very difficult time. I'm here to say thank you. Thank you to them for putting together this campaign and for taking so much out of their own lives to make it happen. Thank you to the board who really stepped up and owned this initiative throughout. Thank you to all of the volunteers who really came in, even though they were worried and they were scared, they came in because they knew people needed the help. Thank you to my staff that's been working day in and day out. Night and day is all the same to them. but they're making sure that everybody has the resources they need. Thank you to the community leaders, to the community rabbis who all stepped up in support of SBH during this difficult time. And thank you to our donors, because I'm happy to say that at this point in the campaign, which is not yet done, we're almost at 75% of our goal, and I'm sure that with your help, we're going to get there. I really thank our donors for also being patient with us, because we come to them over and over and over, and they understand that we're doing it because our clients need food day after day after day. But it's not easy. It's not easy for us, and it's not easy for them. And we really appreciate that they always commit, they always help, and they never let our community down. The crisis that we're facing today is a worldwide epidemic. At times it feels like our whole world is falling apart. But I ask that we don't worry, because Hesed will build it back together. Olam Hesed Yibaneh. Hesed that we do will rebuild this world. And our community is the source of Hesed for the entire world. I really believe that. You see from our donations that they're coming in from all places. We're getting credit cards, Quick Pay, Venmo, I don't even know the different types anymore, but from so many different sources. And we're also getting them in all different increments. We have donations as little as $2 to donations as high as $100,000. And they're coming in from all of us. Almost at this point, 1,400 different donors participating in this campaign. Our community is recognized around the world for Hesed, as a bright light of Hesed that serves the entire universe. And this time, we really proved ourselves. It's no coincidence to me that today is Rosh Chodesh Nisan. It's a time of redemption. And I hope, Be'ezrat Hashem, that this effort by our entire community will lead to the redemption from this crisis. If you haven't done so already, I encourage you to participate in this campaign. It's an unbelievable zechut to be able to help people in need. And remember that it's not about how much you give, it's how much you give of yourself. The rabbis tell us that there's 3 things we need to do in times of crisis. They label them kol, tzom, and mammon. Prayer, fast, and charity. The reality is that today, our prayers are great, but they're not perfect. We can't get together in shuls, we're not praying in minyans, we don't have Sefer Torah. So our prayers are missing something. Tzom, we tried to fast yesterday, and many of us did, but there were also many that couldn't. Many that were advised not to, because due to the virus, they needed to keep their immunity systems at their highest level. So that also wasn't perfect. But I'm here to testify that when it came to charity, our community was perfect, because almost everybody contributed, and contributed so much to help each other. Our prayers for Refuah Shelema go out to all of those who are suffering, and in this zechut of the charity and the Hesed of this community, they will get better soon. Amen. I'm truly privileged to lead such an amazing organization with such an amazing team in such an amazing community. It is my hope and prayer that all of you stay safe during this difficult period, and that all of you merit to have the ability and the privilege to do Hesed. Thank you.